what are you doing?
Trying to achieve total enlightenment.
For what?
Because the film that we've been asked to review today is one of those films where you just have nothing to do but to rage at it.
And what is that?
Well, I'm sorry to say, it's a Shyamalan film.
M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes, M. Night Shyamalan the Ding Dong. And his film that we're going to review today is Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Or as it's known as the movie, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of an apt title, don't you think?
Yeah, because it was The Last Airbender.
Yeah, there was plans to make like 2 other movies, and it'd be all revolved around each series kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, fuck no, you know. Now, did you ever see the TV series that this was based on from Nickelodeon?
No.
You didn't? Well, let me explain a little something.
I never even seen the movie.
Okay, well, the TV show is a bit interesting for me because I didn't watch it per se a lot of the time when I was a kid, but whenever I did see it, it always did manage to put a smile on my face all the time.
Oh yeah?
It had great characters, great stories, great setting, great animation, great fight scenes, all that stuff. It was kind of like a mixture of an anime film and one of those Hong Kong cinema films,
Right
or
on.
fantasy films in a way.
Yes, the show is basically like revolves around this kid like who has the ability to bend air. Like there are all these like realms like where these
realms, kids, and
they can bend like each element, like fire bending, water bending, air bending, earth bending.
and somewhere out there, Luke Besson saying, "Hey, wait, I thought I did that."
Yeah. Oh, it would be a Fifth Element ripoff if there was love bending.
Probably. Actually, this is interesting because, well, with the show itself from Nickelodeon, it's actually, what I find, actually pretty good. I mean, sure, yeah, sometimes it can be a bit kiddish, and sometimes it's a little too silly for its own sake. It had some great characters, great animation, great setting, great everything, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it got a lot out of me, pretty much. Not to mention it had the great and powerful Mako in it also.
Ah.
So you know it was good, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie has none of that charm in here, pretty much.
No.
I suppose we don't need to really tell the story for this because if you've seen the show, you're not going to get the same story here, kids, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Shyamalan claimed that he was a real big fan of the show and he wanted to make his version of it. And unfortunately, Nickelodeon agreed to that, and they gave him the rights. But watching this, you'd never get that impression, pretty much. It seems like he wanted to make something special to him, but not for the fans, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to make his version, and we all know where those go usually.
Yep.
Straight toilet. The main problem with this movie is it doesn't really feel like a movie. It feels like the cliff notes to the TV series in a way. Because here's the number one problem. They took all of season 1 and just crammed it into one movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
Never a good idea.
No.
I mean, you need, like, pacing and stuff like that, first of all. Here's an example where he got it perfectly wrong. In the show, there's this one episode where we see the gang of heroes get on a boat, right? Now, on this boat are these people called Earthbenders.
Yep.
And their power is they can literally bend the elements like Earth to their will.
Yeah.
However, because they're on a boat and far away from Earth, they've kind of given up hope because they can't use their power to escape, pretty much. Now, Shyamalan actually takes an element from this and applies it into the movie. Then we see the gang get kidnapped and taken to a work camp, pretty much, right? But here's the problem. The work camp's not on a boat. It's in a quarry.
Oh.
A mine quarry. And only now, after this kid gives some whiny speech about how you can fight back, they suddenly realize, oh yeah, we can fight back. Like, really? Really? Just really? In the show, we've seen some earthbenders, just one earthbender alone, is able to level an entire city with an earthquake, almost, or something like that.
Oh yeah?
However, in this fight scene...
Hi, midget. Just continue on.
In this fight scene, it takes 6 guys to move 1 stone.
Oh yeah?
1 stone. Did I remember last season they literally caused a giant avalanche, literally, with just one guy? But it takes 6 guys to throw one, not really big rock, pretty much. The acting in this is horrible.
Yeah. And the writing.
And the writing. The writing and the acting combined, not good.
And the directing.
Well, you see...
I'm sorry, like, I know M. Night Shyamalan has made
some good film.
Like, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Split.
I think that's it.
I've never seen Glass yet, but I'm interested in seeing it.
And some people said The Sixth Sense wasn't that bad. I mean, not The Sixth Sense.
Signs with Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah, The Visit. I remember that.
Yeah, that was like the start of his
Comeback in a way.
Yeah.
It seems like Shyamalan got almost everything wrong with this film. The fight scenes are boring and lame. The acting's stiff at best, pretty much. The writing, pretentious as all hell. The directing in this is just bland or forgettable, to be honest. He kind of does the cardinal sin for filmmakers in this film.
What's that?
You ever heard the term show, don't tell with a film?
Yes, and he did the opposite.
You see, the idea of a film is you're supposed to be shown something interesting and you're engaged with it.
Mm-hmm.
But in this film, it's just people talking and explaining stuff.
Yeah.
Which can get very, very boring at times.
I can imagine.
And I'm sorry, these kid actors, they just don't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Their acting is either too over the top or wooden as hell, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's another thing we can address with this, pretty much. The elephant in the room. And you know what that would be?
What?
The casting of this film. When it came out, there was a lot of uproar about the casting in this. A lot of claims of whitewashing, actually. And you see, the problem was, in the show, we don't know per se what our characters' races are. However, the director has gone out saying what the cultures are represented in here.
Mm-hmm.
The Airbenders are based on sort of like the Tibetan monks' culture in a way. The Earthbenders are based on sort of Chinese cultures in a way. The Waterbenders are based on Inuit cultures. And the Fire Nation is based on sort of Japanese cultures, pretty much. Especially with their clothing, their armor, their weapons. Even the names are kind of sort of reminiscent of something like that. But in this one, it's just generic white kids, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but these actors are not doing it for me.
No?
Well, the thing is, I think they're first-time actors, and this is their first big role.
Yeah, one of them was even in Age of Extinction afterwards.
Oof. Ouch. But in this one, all their acting is just awful. They got either the emotion of sandpaper at one moment, or they're too emotional. Like, even Neil Breen's like, God, put some emotion in it, kid.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. However, in this one, it seems like they didn't even get the point with it almost. In fact, like, I think most of the casting in this are of American descent, Persian, or Indian descent, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wouldn't be too complaining about, but it's so blatant almost, you can't really ignore it.
Yeah.
I mean, for one thing, the good characters, their acting's bad, obviously, but they also get the characteristics wrong also.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for instance, they pronounce the names pretty much wrong. In the TV shows, it's pronounced Aang, not Ong.
Ah.
Or something like that. Apparently Shyamalan wanted to pronounce the traditional Asian word. Unfortunately, you can't really do that if all the characters aren't even close to looking like the original characters.
Yes.
In the TV show, Aang is supposed to be like, kind of naive, yeah, and he's just a kid pretty much. Like, he knows all this responsibility, but he's still just a kid. But in this one, he doesn't really have any personality pretty much, except whiny pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the two kids. There's the girl, and I don't even freaking remember. Her performance is so bland, I don't even remember. And then there's the boy character. Now, in the thing, he's sort of like your typical jokester kind of character thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of like, he doesn't take anything too seriously per se, but he can have a good heart. But in this one, this guy is way too stiff and emotional. I mean, really, dude, calm the hell down. Like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't help that he falls in love with a girl, and this girl, if you look at her hair from a certain camera angle, looks kind of like a giant hairy penis, actually.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Shyamalan, you know the way you're shooting this. The hair, ugh.
Oh my.
Now, first of all, I don't get why they cast all Indian and Persian actors to play the bad guys, considering that. Considering that. But I will admit there were some performances I actually did like in it.
Like what?
Let's see, the actors they got for the bad guys, the Fire Nation, a lot of those actors are pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm.
We have Dave Patel as the main bad guy in this one. And to those who don't remember, he was from Slumdog Millionaire, remember?
Yep.
And he does a pretty good, convincing portrayal of a sort of warrior looking for his redemption in a way.
Yeah.
And his Uncle Iroh, his character, like, he's funny, he's having a good time, you know. He enjoys the little things in life, as it were. And he's voiced by Mako, of all people, also. Before he died, I'm afraid, also. But in this one, the uncle character is kind of still there. He's kind, warm, and affectionate for his nephew, but he's also wise and cunning, also. So I'm glad they got that at least right. But everything else, so freaking wrong. And for some reason, the main bad guy in this is played by the dude from The Daily Show.
Ah.
I mean, he gives a pretty good performance also as your typical jerk bad guy, pretty much. But unfortunately, that's not enough to say the fact that at the end of the day, do you care what happens in this film?
No.
I couldn't muster up any I couldn't muster up a crap in this film, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, Shyamalan, make me care about your characters before you have them explaining all this bullshit to me. But, in all fairness, I'm sorry, there's no fairness with this. It's everything bad in this thing. Like, everything they could have done bad is bad in this. The acting, the writing, the directing, the god-awful CGI, everything. And maybe in the end, maybe that's for the best, actually.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel with a TV series like this, you could just sort of leave it alone. Let kids watch it for their own thing.
Yeah.
Just let it be. Just let it be. We don't need to make a movie on it. And maybe that's probably for the best.
What would you rate it?
Like I say, I know that there are some people that still like Shyamalan, and I like Shyamalan too. I really like his work. But in this one, it feels like he tried to make something that was important to him, but he kind of missed the point of what made it important to other people, pretty much. He just only wanted it important for himself, pretty much, and to inflate his ego, pretty much. So overall, I have to give it a 1 out of 10, pretty much.
Yeah. After hearing that, I would give it a 0 out of 10. I almost said 6 out of 10. 0 out of 10.
I mean, don't give him that much praise, come on.
No, I wouldn't.
But overall, don't have much to say except that it sucks.
That's all for now. Take care.
See you later, guys.
Well, that movie could have been a lot better than it should have.
That's a bit of a given, though.
Yeah, so that was our review of The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about it?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't like it.
I'm not shocked.
Just see like the list of comments below saying.
It's gonna be rough territory.
Yeah, but if you enjoyed the video better than the movie, you can hit the like button and subscribe with the bell notification.
Mm-hmm.
And you can follow us on our social medias, description down below.
Yep. And if you guys want to see any more videos, like our review on The Raid, it's over here.
Yep.
Or if you want to see any more bad movie reviews, you can see our review on The Room or any
Troll 2 or
Troll 2, yeah.
Yes, and wouldn't you believe that our video of The Raid has more views?
Yeah, I can believe that somehow. Just somehow.
I wonder why.
Yeah, it's probably not important. But other than that, I guess we should say farewell, I guess.
Yep.
Alright. See you later, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
We'll try to bring you something good next time, okay?
Uh-huh.